Hi, it has been a few weeks since I did my last update, and the reason for that is I was feeling a little bit disappointed about my 6 months results. So when I did my last video, I talked about it coming up to my 6 months being on Mounjaro, and I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of photos in the same outfit, and I didn't see much of a difference. I was quite disappointed by the side-by-side comparison, and I spoke with my partner about it, and he said, well, it's because you're wearing the same clothes that are bigger and they're not form-fitting. You can't really see much of the change. And I do agree with that to an extent, but I could still see in my arms that I hadn't really lost much at all. And I know that my arms is usually the last place that I lose weight, but I really noticed it as well in my face. When I did the side-by-side face comparison, there wasn't a huge lot of difference, which is a bit surprising to me because I've lost 16 kilos now. I may have already said this, I'm bouncing around between 16.5 kilo loss. And I've been on the 12.5 dose since May, so 3 months now. And that's the longest I've been on a dose before. So I made the decision on Tuesday of this week. Actually, I made the decision last week, but I didn't have enough of my pen left to move up, but I made the decision to move up to 15 milligrams. And I had spoken before about wanting to stay on the 12.5 for as long as possible. But I'm starting to get, and I mentioned this in my last couple of videos, and I've been feeling this way for a few months, I'm starting to get weight loss fatigue. I'm really getting quite frustrated with calorie counting. I'm doing that every day. I'm not necessarily in calorie target every day, but I'd say 95% of the time at least. There's only a couple of days every month where I would go over, and I'm just in a, I don't know, in a hurry. I'm not sure if that's the right word. I'm just becoming exasperated with it, and I'm in a hurry to get to maintenance so I can start winding down the doses. And it's not, I mean, the cost of it is part of it. It is obviously quite expensive, and the more you move up, the more expensive it is. But it's also, I figure, well, the longer that I'm on it and the lower dosage that I'm at, then the less weight I'm going to lose, and the more slowly I'm going to lose it, and the more time it's going to take to get to maintenance, and then the more time it's going to take to start coming back down the doses. And I'm just fed up at this point. Particularly with those photos, I was really disappointed, and I need to remember that yes, it's like only 16 kilograms in 6 months, but with me having been on point with my calorie counting so consistently, because I'm at a streak of, I don't even know how many days it is anymore, but I'm not going to lose it. I'm going to keep going until I get to maintenance, and then maybe even then some. But although I am disappointed with that amount, I know that if I had been sticking to calorie counting, just calorie counting that entire time, I wouldn't have been able to lose that. Because if I have lost 16 kilos, which feels not particularly fast and not a lot, if I have lost that amount sticking to my calories most of the time, if almost all of the time, then what would it have been like if I had been doing just the calorie counting? I would have stalled by now. I would have started to yo-yo and put it back on. I would have hit, set point a lot earlier. So it is worth it to keep going. I do sometimes feel, and I hear this a lot, people saying, oh, you could just lose the same amount at the same rate, doing normal dieting. And if we're talking about normal dieting, like calorie counting, I have been doing exactly that, and it's still been slow. So I just want it over and done with. I'm starting to, as I said, get really fed up, and I said before that I'm feeling like I'm very close to throwing in the towel, so it was time to move up the doses and hopefully get to maintenance as quickly as possible. I don't mind losing at a faster rate in terms of muscle mass and bone density and skin tightness, because it has been fairly slow up until now. My bone density is still quite good. My muscle mass is good, and I don't really have any loose skin, except for maybe under my arms a little bit, but I think that's mostly due to stretch marks. in terms of having put on weight, and then when I'm losing it as well, I tend to get stretch marks under my arms, under my upper arms. So I'm going to keep going. That's all that I have really in terms of update. I think I'm just feeling a lot of weight loss fatigue. I'm in some diet groups on WhatsApp that stem from a podcast that I listen to called No Shame in a Gain. It's a UK podcast. If you're keen on UK content, I'll see if I can find out how to link it. I listen on Apple, but I'm sure it's on Spotify as well, and they've got a Facebook page and Instagram page and things like that, so I'll link those in the description. But in a couple of those, one is a group of international ladies, which is really nice, and the other has only started recently, which is just for people who are on Mounjaro or Ozempic. And I haven't been keeping up with the messages in the international group for quite some time. I think because I'm feeling this fatigue, and I just feel like it's all I can do to just keep going with the bare minimum, which is calorie counting and weighing in on a Monday as a group. That's all I can do at the moment. So I'm hoping to become more involved in those, and for the group, for people that are on the injections, there are hundreds of messages a day, and I just mentally cannot. So work is really busy right now, still traveling a lot with work, in terms of commuting, and yeah, it's all I can do to just keep my streak on MyFitnessPal and weigh in on a Monday. That's all I can do at this point, at this moment in time. So I still got about from here 10 kilos to go. I think today yesterday when I weighed, I was 73.2 or something like that. And I originally wanted to get down to 65. And I think I've spoken about this before, but I would like to get down to 63 so that I've got a bit of a buffer for when I'm coming off, because I will put on weight, particularly if I'm going to ease up on the calorie counting as I'm going down the doses. I will be putting on weight. So I would like to have that couple of kilogram buffer. So 10 kilos from here, 16 down so far. I will pop up those photos, the side-by-side comparison photos that I was mentioning. If I haven't done it earlier in the video, I'll see if I remember. And I'll put some screenshots of my stats in terms of my 6-month update when I got to the 6 months. One of my dogs is trying to dig a ball out from behind the mirror, I think, which is why there's that annoying sound. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish it there. If you're watching, because I don't think many people watch, and that's fine, but if you're watching and you have some words of encouragement, please do send them through. I really appreciate that, because at the moment I really am at the end of my tether, and if I weren't on Mounjaro, I would have given up by now. Like, I really would have. It's this slow on the Mounjaro with calorie counting. I can't imagine what it would be like without Mounjaro. I would have really thrown in the towel by now and probably put on another 10 kilos on top of what I'd lost. So that's it. I'm going to keep going, because I don't have any choice, and I know that I will be really mad with myself if I stop now and put it back on. So I just have to keep going. I have no choice. So one of the dogs is being really annoying, so I'm gonna go now. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble about how over it I am. So I'm really, really over it. But thank you.